All right, team. Welcome to episode 2 of the Ask Tim Jenkins show. We are real pumped up. If you like football, you like game picks, we went 11-5 last week. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, okay? I got my co-host Adam out here in the back. We're going to try to get him on camera, but that's probably going to be like a month out. We'll see how he does. And we're big FTA guys, which means comment for the algorithm. Like this video so more people see it, but we're going to answer some of the questions that you guys gave us last week on the video. So without further ado, Adam, what's the first question we've got?
Tim, the first question we have is, can you walk through how vanilla the Broncos offense was versus the Niners, versus even their preseason, or maybe how or what would work better?
I don't think they're vanilla. I think they're, like, comparatively to the preseason, they're not as vanilla as they were in the preseason, obviously. I think they're scheming stuff up. I just don't think they're executing. And the way to get better, to me, would be we need to win formationally and with motion. I'm not super impressed in terms of like how we're using motion to get guys open or generate a mismatch pre-snap, and I'm not really impressed with using formations to our advantage, like condensing the set to run an over route. We're condensing the set and then we're booting towards it. There's some things that don't make sense. So I think we need to do better winning formationally. That's what I think the Denver Broncos need to do.
All right, our next one. Denver's defense looks legit, especially against the 49ers. If they shut down the Raiders' offense, that part didn't age well. Mm-hmm. How well do you think they will do against KC?
Oh, I mean, they didn't shut down the Raiders' offense, so I just think it's a moot point, you know? But I do think the Denver Broncos' defense is playing well at times. Kansas City is its own beast, man. Kansas City, it's like you could have the best defense on planet Earth, and I still think if Kansas City's on, they're going to score some points. So I don't think they're going to stop Kansas City. Do I think they've played them tough the last few years? I do. So I do think there's a track record of, hey, they could have success, but you know, how much do you assign to Vic Fangio? How much do you assign to the players? There's a whole bit of a debate, but I don't think like any defense is stopping Kansas City.
It sounds like a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous.
That's exactly what it is.
All right, next one. Why don't you think the Broncos use Russ's mobility more in design plays? Not necessarily running him, more just moving him on pass plays.
We try to move him on boot, right? But we boot into in my opinion, bad formations, and we have DNs come off the edge and rock him. Like we booted once against the Raiders, and what happened? He got rocked off the edge. So, yeah, I think, could they use it more? Yeah, what they need to use more is RPO in the actual run game. Like we dialed it up once where we had a little backside run solution where it's a run play, but, you know, hey, backside we had like a bubble, right? A little run solution, and Russ didn't throw it, needed to throw it. So we've gotten away from it. That's what we need to use more of. In terms of boot, we need to make sure we're in an okay formation to boot to, and we could use them more, and that would probably be beneficial.
All right, next one. Tim, as a Bears fan, I'm still on the Fields will be good train, but he hasn't shown much improvement as of yet. Please give us some hope and some things that you think he will be getting better at.
He'll get better at his reads. He'll get better at his, I should say, PSL reads, right? Like pure progression where you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. He's doing a really good job with. PSL in terms of like, hey, you know, we have this mirrored concept I want you to pick a side. He needs to improve at. The hope for him is pretty obvious, in my opinion, because you sit there and you go, okay, I got Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champion. Guess what he's doing with the new offense, Adam? He's struggling, right? I got Matt Ryan when he got Shanahan. What happened at the beginning? He struggled. I got Aaron Rodgers, Super Bowl champion, MVP. What happened with him when he got LaFleur at the beginning?
Took ayahuasca.
Yeah, well, before that, he struggled. Right? Like all these guys struggle. So I think the hope for him is like, listen, he's a second-year player and he's got a new offense. Like, let's give him a little bit of time. That's my take.
All right. Next one we got up here is, when Manning was here with DT, it seemed like we utilized the screen game more often to great success. And I haven't seen us use that nearly as much since Peyton left. Why do you think that is? Personnel or other reasons?
Peyton Manning was the best guy in getting to screen against pressure, I think, ever in the NFL. With that being said, we do not use screen enough, and we're not executing it well either. We called like 3 screens against the Raiders, and I'm pretty sure all 3 got blown up. We're not doing a good job in the screen game. We have to get better from a design perspective and from an execution perspective, and a lot of that comes down on the quarterback.
What happened to Justin Jefferson after week 1? Are they just double teaming him every play so he doesn't get open?
The limited Vikings tape I have watched, he's getting bracketed just about the same that Calvin Johnson was with the Lions, which is saying a lot. So, I think nothing's happened to Justin Jefferson. Schematically, they're going to have to figure out how to generate more one-on-ones for him. And if there's anyone who can do it, who's the guy up there? Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Rams
fan.
guy.
I'm a huge fan of what he's doing. So I do think he can get it done.
All right, here we go. A little longer question here. So, with so many teams looking for mobile QBs, is the Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson style of playing an ideal way to play a quarterback for 17 games in the postseason? How many are winning championships? Mahomes is in a different category. He doesn't take the hits Lamar and Allen do. Also, so much of that offense going through them, i.e., leading rusher and passer, is that ideal?
Long question. I just think there's a lot of ways to win at quarterback in the NFL. I think what you're saying of like, hey, who's winning championships, it's kind of tough too because, teams win championships, right? Of course, we want quarterbacks to end their careers with a bunch of rings, but teams win championships. Ultimately, I do think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are like special people in terms of the way they play the game. Like, we're never going to see Lamar Jackson again. I don't think we'll ever see Josh Allen again, right? Or, hey, maybe we see another one like once, like Mike Vick to Lamar Jackson maybe would be the comparison. But I think there's a bunch of ways to win. I, obviously, being a limited athlete myself, love seeing guys win from the pocket because it's something I feel like I can relate to. But, no, I think you can win a bunch of ways in the NFL. I do think we will see more mobile guys, and I don't think it's because that's what people want. I just think guys are getting more athletic in general. So that's something that I don't think we talk about enough of like the level of athlete across the board that people are now. So I think we'll see more mobile guys in the future, but I think a lot of that has to do with like that's just, these young kids are becoming more and more athletic.
I gotcha. All right, next one. Thoughts on Hackett's scheme? Why has McDaniel found so much more success with a QB who is less proven than Russ? It seems like McDaniel has done a better job fitting his scheme to Tua than Hackett has to Russ. Thoughts?
But yeah, I think you're correct. I think McDaniel has definitely done a way better job with the Dolphins than Hackett has done with the Broncos. And I think that's like more than fair. You could argue personnel, right, of Tyreek Hill and Waddle. But I think if you were to give McDaniel, Jerry Jeudy, and Cortland Sutton, I'm not sure it's that different, to be honest, in terms of like feeling like he could generate openings. Can Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton run by everyone on the defense like Tyreek Hill? No, but they also have their own strengths, right? That those guys have. So to me, it's I think Mike McDaniel's doing a lot better job than Hackett. I do think Hackett, we probably got to give him a little bit more time before we can really make a judgment, but. I'm a huge McDaniel fan. I'm a big Hackett guy, but I do think he's got to take. I don't know how much input Tua had in that offense when it was getting built, and I think Russ has had a lot of input, and I'm not sure that that's always the best case scenario when you're talking about trying to establish a new offense and a culture and the way it runs. So that's probably my what is it? 2 cents, Adam? 10 cents on the matter?
It might be 10 with inflation now.
Yep.
What do you think Russ had more input in, Tim? The offense or a sandwich?
Probably a sandwich because it was real spicy with the banana peppers.
Does it drive you crazy, as it drives me crazy, how much the Broncos run out of shotgun inside of the 5?
Yes and no. I do think there's something to be said about getting under center. Let's go ahead and pound this thing in there. And I do think there's something to be said about the dynamic of QB run being an option if Russell Wilson's your guy. So yes and no. I don't think they've used Russ as like a true, hey, run-to-run threat, meaning, hey, we either give the ball here or we pull it and run it. And the one time they did was the Raiders, right? Isn't that the one he scored on? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was just read zone. So, yeah, I think there's something to be said about getting him under center and running. But I do think with Russell, the dynamic of a quarterback who's actually eligible to run and can run, I think you should use that. So it doesn't necessarily drive me crazy. There's certain calls that drive me crazy, but it doesn't necessarily drive me crazy.
Is that because you were always in gun inside the 5 at the fort?
Yeah, probably. Has something to do with it.
All right. Why is it that the only one that likes Cooper Rush is Tim Jenkins? Everyone else says he is nothing but a permanent practice squad backup QB.
I like guys that come in and execute their offense at a high level and win a bunch of football games. And that's exactly what Cooper Rush has done. So I don't know how you can't like it. I get that people want to say that all he is a backup quarterback, which is fine, but he's a backup quarterback that can win games, which would be a huge distinction over a lot of other backup quarterbacks.
Fair enough. All right, we're on to the pick'em.
Let's go. So we're going to pick every game. Every game, every week. That's why we put this out on Thursdays before Thursday Night Football. And what did we do last week, Adam? What was our record?
We were 11-5.
I feel like that's actually pretty good. I don't know what is good. I don't know what everyone else who picks every game usually ends out. But 11-5 feels like a strong outing.
I feel like if you were on game day, you would probably be in first place by a wide margin.
Well, that makes me feel
good. At least way ahead of Pat McAfee. It's been a rough debut for him.
Poor Pat. But let's pick them. We got our week 5 NFL pick them. We're picking the whole thing. Let's fire away, Adam.
All right. Are you going to get the people going and pick against the Broncos again this week?
No. The Broncos will win this game. Bounce back game. They're down Javonte Williams. They're down, some other guys. But Colts are down Jonathan Taylor. And I do think, I just honestly think traveling, like what happened last week, right? Miami went to Cincinnati, and I know Tua got hurt, but I think traveling on a short week is just so much harder. Broncos at home.
All right. Giants, Packers.
Packers.
Lions, Patriots. I think this is a sneaky good game.
Yeah, I picked the Lions last week, didn't I?
You did.
And they hurt me. But we'll go Lions again. It is a sneaky good game. Is New England home?
It is. New England is at home, I believe.
Yeah. So let's go Lions on the road.
All right. We got Chargers, Browns.
Chargers. Although that will be a better game than people think.
Jags, Texans.
Jags, bounce back. Bounce back week for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence goes off. Big game.
Bucks, Falcons.
Bucks.
Bounce back for Tom Brady.
Emotionally, yes.
All right, we got Bills, Steelers. Kenny Pickett first start.
Bills by 100. And which means the Steelers will probably win because I'm so confident, but the Bills are winning that one. Kenny Pickett is, Kenny Pickett's playing.
All right. We got Jets, Dolphins.
Oh, Jets. And this is it could be sneaky good, but I do think Jets, Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater plays similar to Jets, Steelers with Kenny Pickett, and the Jets already snuck one out, and I think they sneak a second one out.
Is that because both those guys have gloves?
Oh, that's a good point, but no, I didn't even think of that, Adam.
All right, we got Vikings, Bears. I think Montgomery's out for the Bears.
Man, I love my Chicago people too. Chicago's been a good market for me. I love talking with everybody. Good fans.
Good food.
But I want to pick Chicago. I'm going to bet Chicago, but I think Vikings win.
So you're saying Bears cover?
No,
Vikings
I'm going to bet
outright?
money line Chicago because I like to bet. I like to get hurt with the people that I'm covering. Because I'm a man of the people, Adam. You know that?
This is true.
So I like to get hurt alongside them, but I do think the Vikings, when it comes to my picks, I think the Vikings. I am going to bet my money with the people, though.
The wallet's with the people. The record is with the Vikings.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right, we got Titans versus the Commies.
Tennessee. Tennessee's rolling.
I feel like as a small business owner, you're probably going to pick against the Commies all year.
Yeah, it's hard to pick the Commanders.
All right, we got Saints and the juggernaut that is Geno Smith and the Seahawks.
Saints, Seahawks, sneaky good game probably. I think Seahawks. Let's go Seattle.
All right, and we got Niners, Panthers.
49ers. Unless PJ Walker's playing, then the Panthers, but he's not.
All right, Battle of the Birds, Cards, Eagles.
Oh, I picked against the Eagles last week to not be undefeated. Eagles. Eagles again.
All right.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare just 4 came out, so.
Oh, did it?
No.
I feel like Mac's a little young for that one yet.
Yeah, he is.
All right. We got Cooper Rush and the boys versus the Rams.
Oh, I'd love to pick the boys, but the Rams are going to take this one.
All right. My personal favorite game of the week on the docket, Bengals Ravens.
Oh, that is going to be sneaky good. The Bengals have had some issues.
Yeah, it's Sunday night in Baltimore.
And Baltimore, though, didn't they just this week give up their second big lead to lose?
Yeah.
Because who'd they lose to this last week?
They lost to the Bills. They were up.
Yep, they were up
20-3.
big. Ooh, which then makes me think like Baltimore probably jumps out on them, but do they do it again? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Bengals with Joe Burrow, but let's go Baltimore at home.
All
Sunday
right.
Night Football, Baltimore at home. It's a special thing.
Monday night, we're in Arrowhead for the Chiefs and the Raiders. Who you got?
Chiefs.
Wide margin.
I don't know about a wide margin, but I just don't think the Raiders. I know the Raiders beat the Broncos, but I just don't think they're like. I think that was like kind of one of those games where it was like you could kind of see it coming. I just don't think it's 2 weeks in a row. I think they'll play them tougher than people expect because it's a divisional game, right, Adam?
Mm-hmm.
But I just see the Chiefs. I see the Chiefs pulling it out.
How big of a difference does it make having an S at the end of McDaniel or McDaniels as a coach?
Oh, huge. Very big. Very big. So that's all of them?
Yes, sir.
That's the slate. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, comment below because Adam will check the comments for this week. For next week, I know a lot of you guys were like, hey, man, what about a live format? Not a bad idea. We'll figure that thing out. But we don't know how to do it. So we don't know how to do a lot of stuff. But we're at 17,000 subscribers, which is nuts. Absolutely nuts. We're super thankful for you guys. Happy that you tuned in last week. Hopefully you win 11-5 and just bet these things money line, made some money. Let us know what you guys think of the picks. And until next week, for me and Adam, peace.